What is the difference between freight prepaid and freight collect shipping? Imagine sending a package across the country or even overseas. Do you know who pays for the shipping and when? That's what freight prepaid and freight collect are all about. Freight prepaid means the person sending the goods, usually the seller, pays the shipping costs upfront. They choose the carrier, negotiate rates, and handle the payment before the shipment leaves. This way, the buyer gets the goods without worrying about paying at delivery. The shipper often includes the freight cost in the invoice, so the buyer reimburses later. This method gives the shipper full control over how and when the goods are shipped. It's common for large shipments or full truckloads, where the shipper wants to ensure everything goes smoothly and on time. On the flip side, freight collect means the buyer or recipient is responsible for paying the freight charges when the goods arrive. The seller ships the goods but does not pay the freight bill. Instead, the carrier collects the payment from the receiver at the time of delivery. This shifts the financial responsibility to the buyer, giving them control over choosing the carrier and negotiating rates. It's often used in international shipping or when the buyer prefers to manage their own logistics. In terms of the bill of lading, which is the document that acts as a receipt and contract for shipping, these terms are clearly marked. For example, if the bill says FOB origin freight prepaid, it means the seller pays the freight and owns the goods until they leave the origin. If it says FOB destination freight collect, the buyer pays when the goods arrive and owns them at the destination. Choosing between these options depends on what makes sense for the business. If the shipper wants to control the entire process and ensure timely delivery, they'll often choose freight prepaid. If the buyer wants to handle their own shipping and keep cash flow flexible, freight collect might be better. In practical terms, freight prepaid simplifies the process for the buyer and keeps control with the seller. Freight collect gives the buyer more say over shipping choices but adds the risk of delayed payments or disputes. Understanding these terms helps everyone in the supply chain plan better and avoid surprises.